I don't want to be crude, but for most of us, at some point in our lives, we will find ourselves in the intimate company of a member of the opposite sex if you're straight, the same sex if you're homosexual, and if you're pan or bisexual, I guess it's just as you please. Maybe it's a one-night stand, or maybe you find yourselves in the throes of passion with a long-term partner. But the issue arises if neither of you has a condom, because even though we know it makes sense to carry a few knob sheaths on a night out, there's still the stereotype that if you meet someone and you're carrying protection, as a man you could be viewed as a fuck 'em and chuck 'em type. And as a woman, some people may think you've been round the track more times than a greyhound. So, a couple in India, consisting of a man called Salman Mirza and his unnamed fiancée, checked into a hotel looking forward to a passionate night together. But they didn't want to get pregnant and neither of them had any condoms. In my opinion, if you're a gentleman in a straight relationship, you should be able to muster some form of self-control. You shouldn't finish before your lady friend has had more than one opportunity to climax. Because if you do that, then you have the option of using another of her orifices. And that will be fine, because women do not have their uterus attached to the back of their throat. That being said, sometimes opinions are like orgasms. Mine's important and I don't give a fuck about anyone else's. But Mr. Mirza came up with a rather novel solution, because there's only one place on the male anatomy that emanates that which causes conception. The barrel of the baby batter cannon, that which has been compared to the sight organ of a Japanese person, the urethra. Dear God, his solution to stop the semen leaving his body and entering his partner was to use a tube of industrial strength epoxy resin superglue to close his penis. If you've ever needed an example of short-term thinking, that's it. Rather than going to the chemist to buy a pack of 3 rubber johnnies, he decided to seal his cock shut. After applying the glue, the late Mr. Mirza, because yes, he's dead, decided to get high by inhaling the fumes. Now, those of us from the UK who grew up in the 1980s watched Grange Hill and know that's dangerous. But then he took it a step further. He took the glue and mixed it with what is described as a white powder, so that'll be cocaine, and then snorted it. Who the merry fuck does that? Sadly, the next day he died of multiple organ failure. And every death is a tragedy. But in a case like this, him dying means the collective IQ of the human race got a tiny bit higher. I don't really have an end to this video, because giving the advice, don't put superglue on your genitals, isn't something that most people need to hear. In the same way that if you wear glasses and broke them, most people would not put them back on their face and then try and repair them with a fucking MIG welder. On a serious note, if you do hook up with someone and neither of you has protection, the best thing is to just leave it. Because if you meet up again, maybe there's a chance of a relationship. If not, you've probably just saved yourself a trip to the clap clinic. And on that beautiful thought, as ever, thanks for watching.